Hey guys, RMA Arms here. Today we are looking at a budget AR15 pistol. This is about as low end as I want to go. You could go a little bit cheaper than this. I chose not to. We got the Wish rail, the charging handles from Wish, Anderson lower, hardened arms upper, cheap upper and lower parts kit on this thing. We got a Vortex Spark AR optic on here, Phase 5 pistol buffer, SB M4 buffer tube, Magpul furniture. Down here, it is just a standard trigger in here, nothing special. Bolt carrier group, also standard, just kind of mil spec or whatever you want to call it. You know, no cool muzzle device or anything, standard A2 bird cage. And this is, I believe, 789 bucks. Everything included in here. It would be $550 without the optic. You know, if you want to do flip up sights, be a little bit less. This is a pretty budget friendly gun, and we're going to see how it runs. What I like most about a compact, this is a 10.5-inch barrel. They're easy to put away in your house. You don't need a giant safe. Also, if you want to, you know, keep it in your truck or whatever, they're good for that. It's a lot more compact. I don't have anything up on the front here. So if you did put it in a truck, pulling it out of wherever you have a safe compartment in there, pulling it out would be easy. You know, you're not going to drag on anything. I actually have a Magpul Picatinny rail here and that's just my grip, kind of like a hand stop. I know whenever I grab it, that's where I need to stop with my hand. It's big enough that you can have fun at the range, and it's also compact enough that you could break it down and throw it in a backpack or a small duffel bag. It's not going to be as big and cumbersome as a rifle. God, this charging handle's a piece of crap. This pin, that's what it was. That pin was falling out. That's not really a charging handle you want to trust your life to. That's exactly what it is. That pin, it just falls down. That's exactly what it is. It's broken. Well, it looks like I'll be going with a standard charging handle. You want to trade? I'll let you have this one for free. Don't go for cheap charging handles that look neat.
I think something like this gun is a good starting point. However, I would change out a couple things on it, eventually get a different upper, like a BCM upper, save up and get a different barrel and just kind of upgrade over time. It's got some work to be done. This bolt release here is actually pretty stiff. I don't know who makes these parts or these lower parts kits. I don't know what parts were used or where they were bought, but that thing seems to be really, really stiff hitting that bolt release. Maybe it's brand new, maybe it'll wear in, but so far it's really stiff. Yeah. Really, really stiff. So as you can see, this SB brace here just kind of rotates around a little bit. So, and that's pretty common. It's not that it's a piece of crap or anything. It's just kind of a, you know, just the way that it's designed. I know some people have used hairspray where it lubricates it enough to where it slides on, but it becomes sticky after a little bit, so it stays on after that. I've also heard of people wrapping it up in tape or, you know, duct tape or something like that to where it's thick enough to where you just have to slam that sucker on there and it'll stay and it won't move. So that's not really that big of a deal, but the controls and stuff are like super kind of like just rough. So as far as testing and stuff goes, the charging handle, the handguard, sometimes you feel like when you're building guns that you can kind of skimp on a couple things when you're starting out, whether you're building guns or you are just buying some cheaper stuff. So maybe stuff on Arms List that seems to be cheap, and you might be going around gun shows and seeing these things for like 20 bucks, 15 bucks. The hand guards are like 50 bucks. So as tempting as it is because it's a good deal, there's just certain things that you don't want to negotiate. So, things like the charging handle. We've had to replace the charging handle with this because the other one broke, it didn't hold up, and it kept us from being able to charge the weapon, and it got sticky, all that kind of stuff. So things like the charging handle, the bolt carrier group, the buffer system, all that, the gas tube, the gas block, you definitely want to get quality parts. Like a lower, I personally think an Anderson lower is fine. I've run an Anderson lower on mine for a long time. That's a part that you don't have to spend a crap load of money on in order to have a quality AR-15.
So there's a few things we've learned about this AR. One, we had a Chinese charging handle on here. Luckily I brought another AR, my Diamondback, with me. Had to change out charging handle because we had a catastrophic failure with it. The pin inside it was actually dropping out pretty much every shot, so you could not charge the weapon. It would just stick forward. Another thing is this cheap rail, the way that it mounts, you have to stop tightening it at a certain point, and that does not tighten it enough for it to stay tightened, so you can actually wiggle it by hand. Now it will not come undone because the gas tube is keeping it from coming completely unscrewed off there, but that's not really, you don't really want anything on your gun falling apart as you're shooting it, or anything coming loose really ever once it's assembled. If you're on a low budget and you need something to shoot to start out with, you can start out low end like this and maybe save up a couple $100, buy a really good rail, a Geisley, BCM, whatever, and add that onto it later. You can upgrade things as you go. You could put a different trigger in it. This is just a standard trigger. It works completely fine. A lot of people want to do a Geisley or a flat face trigger for a lighter weight, a different reset, whatever. These triggers, the standard issue triggers, they typically are bulletproof. It's what military uses. It's like a 5-pound draw. It's a little bit heavier, but it's typically more reliable. But other than that, the thing's done good. The Vortex optic is good. We're not going to do a review on that, but everything else on it is fine. So I know I just said the charging handle failed on us. So I want to show you, this is the charging handle. Pop it out of here real quick. And I just want to show you a quick strength test because I'm pretty certain that this thing's made out of putty. It should not do that. That's that's not good. This is very, very cheap cast aluminum, and this failed almost immediately. To be completely honest, when you're building one of these, if you're looking at going for the cheapest parts available that are no-name brand, that are from Wish, I would suggest not doing it. And you got to ask yourself what you're going to use the gun for. If you're going to do some range time every now and then, maybe, but typically if you're going to get a firearm, a lot of times you're thinking about either doing matches or protecting your own life, and you don't want to go with bottom of the barrel sweatshop parts. And so, maybe go with a little bit better parts. Probably stay away from Wish.